Hello everyone, welcome to the Advancement Centre and welcome to the world of magic and miracles, where once again we join together even at a distance and make sure that we communicate through the language of the stars to elevate and enhance one another's lives and break through all the barriers that have appeared during the week. At this time, I can say with certainty that everything is well underway with preserving what you brought into the world and allowing you to enhance it further. The gifts that you now have access to will be accepted in the world with ease and lots of excitement. A little bit of mischief goes a long way, and a little bit of lightness goes a lot further. In that way, we can enhance one another's lives and not even look at what's happening under the wave. We ride the wave of circumstance, the wave of enjoyment, any wave you like. And you find that you enjoy what happens to you, and you don't have to focus on what's happening underneath the wave. Even though there's someone running around with a camera in front of you all the time saying, look, 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 this is what's going on in the world. In fact, without those cameras, you wouldn't know. And in reality, you don't know that each person is experiencing what's on the TV or the internet, because each person is in control of their own world, just as you are. They can enhance one another's lives, even in circumstances that look strange to us. Mixing the colours is not the same as dropping dye in the water. When you drop dye in the water, it changes colour. And that's what's been happening in your life up to now. But now that we are way past that, all the colours stand out and sparkle. The lives stand out and sparkle. You can see the glow in in one another's eyes and around one another. And as we talk, you can feel the energies flowing between us, enhancing one another, making us feel better, making us see better, making us hear better, and allowing us to enjoy the lightness of the world of your Creator. When I talk about magic and miracles, it's a little strange that only a few years ago that wasn't used. It wasn't spoken about. Magic was something that you saw on the TV, or you went to a show and somebody did something that was unusual and too fast for you to see. But now you understand that the magic we talk about is what's inside you, what's around you, what's in your children, what's in that interaction between you and the world. The brilliance that you can display just by adding the magic into that interface between you and the world, so that you can change things, how they affect you. So what it looks like and what it does is two different things. Many, many stories throughout the ages prove that even accidents that were inevitable didn't happen, or that for some unknown reason, at the moment an accident was about to happen, the whole world changed. And that part of the the forecast that would have told you in logical terms that you're either going to be badly damaged or dead actually goes past your being, past your life, and appears behind you. So you miss the truck that was going to run over you. But in fact, it still went the same path. People have fallen out of airplanes and survived. There's all sorts of things that show you that what we thought were glitches are actually some of the gifts that belong to us. So we can surpass everything, and we can change how they affect us physically, not just mentally, but physically. And this is the power that we all give to one another. And we give it freely so that each one of us has that field and that energy and that excitement that surpasses everything. And we pass it on to one another and encourage one another to use that special gift, the magic that can actually change how the world affects you and how you affect the world in real terms that can't be seen by anyone else. And if we proceed with the gifts that we brought to the world, we will have everybody having a perfect life and perfect health and a magic future. So with all that, it sounds like a mouthful. And it only takes a few minutes to talk about, and you're there. But now we can go so much further, simply because I've been there. Many of you have. We can go further. We can feel the interface with the world, with our Creator, with anything else that we want to. And we can interact at a universal level with beings from other planets, with beings from here that we can't see, with fairies and little people and angels and all those things. Anything that's ever been thought of and recorded throughout history is actually available to us, and more. The and more bit is what we're really interested in. We're not interested in going back on historical, well, history. We're interested in making our own. Not to record, but for our own benefit. So as we decide to just get up and step through that veil, go for a ride on a spaceship, turn ourselves into something else, run with the wind, go and walk above the trees, all those things happen. Like the young child who goes to the beach instead of doing the homework. They sit there and they look like they're doing the homework, but they're actually out swimming. They're swimming, they're playing, and their friends are with them. Or the one who has the imaginary friend, and they can tell you all about that imaginary friend in terms that you wouldn't ever imagine possible. They can tell you what job they do in the other realm, why they're talking to them. And you have to believe them, because you see them standing there sometimes looking into space. And you say to yourself, I wonder what that young child can see. And if you walk in front of them, you disturb them. They just run off and play. And they don't share that to you too much, because it's just part of life. And it's no different to anything else in their life. And now we're about to do the same thing. But because we have a history, it's important for us to share what we feel, what we experience, the synchronicities that happen in our life, the funny things that come to us when we see an image, or something that flashes into your field that's actually not there for everyone else. And it's sometimes quite funny because you get disturbed in the middle of something such that you've even forgotten what you were talking about because you've raced off into another world in what looks like the blink of an eye. But in fact, you can relate a whole story that happened in that fraction of a second. Because the time is not linear. And in fact, in a fraction of a second of our life, we can actually go into the space that I call infinite. And we can go beyond that, where it's never ending. And it spreads further and further and further to where it's outside your comprehension. And that's when that supercomputer switches on and provides you the capability of actually exposing yourself to the whole of everything. And you expand out to see the whole lot and feel the whole lot. And for some unknown reason, we know how to reduce that into something that we can use. So a plan that is beyond our physical vision can be seen in a fraction of a second because of the marvelous gifts that you have. The super intelligence that lets you look inside the atom or outside the universe, all at the same time. I keep encouraging everybody to expand into those areas because it's something that you can't put in your brain. We have an immense control system, an immense sensing system that has millions and millions of inputs and outputs that we can feel through means that are not obvious to the scientists or to us. Well, I think they're obvious to us because you know if someone's looking at you, even if they're looking from behind you. You know if there's somebody in the room that's not very nice. You know if there's danger coming. If you get a little bit of a fright in the night, we talk about our hackles going up, but in fact, there's an energy burst comes out of you that frightens the hell out of any animal or anything that's approaching. And it will knock a person over. So we have capabilities and we have an essence that is coming alive, an essence of the being that we really are. And it comes alive through your physical being. That majestic being actually appears in the silence of your whole world and switches on that sparkle that sends a light to every corner of the world and the universe. And people can see it. They even look at you and say, wow, you look good today. And it's not because of how you're dressed or anything. It's because you are actually glowing. And there are sparkles in your eyes and excitement coming out of you. The world is about to change again. And it's going to change because it doesn't like being left behind. Because all of us have got up to the point where we can say, all right, join us, or we'll get another place. And it's not going to do that. It's going to respond. The whole earth and all its systems is alive. The rocks, the concrete, your house, your car, your friends, your enemies, the whole lot's alive and moving so quickly that it's reforming into the most beautiful image that I've ever seen. I look at the world and I look at what's presented to us, and I know they're not the same. You look at the trees and they don't reflect what has been fed to us. They don't care. It's only those beings that cannot slow things down, that respond quickly, that you'll see even a touch of fear in. Over a long period, the trees withdraw if you're creating fear. We don't know how to do that. We only know how to create well-being. And the withdrawal of well-being allows the creation of fear. In our whole essence, there's nothing that shows us how to produce fear or to take any notice of it. Even if you have a major accident, you don't get into fear unless you've actually been in amongst the people after the event. When they're responding, you respond as well. But I've seen and I've experienced how you can walk straight past that and come out the other end not as good as gold, but much better than you were before. You might look a little damaged, but the sudden stop in your world shakes off all that you thought was important. Then you find out what you're presenting to the world is important. The being that you represent is important. And if that's not working properly, you can't do any of the other things. So we're back around to looking after yourself. And the way you look after yourself is you keep generating for others. You get beautiful input of energy from your own being while you're actually generating the gifts for others. And we only have to talk about it and you can feel it build. And that's what we're looking for, so that that engine switches on all the time, because we're in enhancement mode. In that mode, nothing can go wrong. In that mode, you are producing for everyone else. And what you receive, you don't care about, because it's so really nice and so powerful. So the more we look at the world without being involved, the greater the advancement in the world and the greater the advancement in the universe. And you don't have to worry about how much you advance. You are already way past anything you know about. It's just time for you to accept the level of the gifts that you've actually brought to the world, and then accept the fact that you haven't finished. You've only partially delivered your gifts. A small part. The biggest part is sitting out there in the world of your Creator, in a spot that only you know, with a description that only you know, and with no rules or regulations. Everything is just waiting in your field for you to deliver whatever you want, wherever you want, however you want. And the idea of having a lot of friends who are doing the same is really great for your heart. Just to know that, wow, there are other people interested in giving their gifts as well. And as each of us delivers our gifts, everyone is interested because it's new to us. It's individual, and it's not related to anything anybody else knows. It's unique, and it's not something that can be taught because it's different in everybody's world. So every time you present yourself and you smile and you let the lights come on, know beyond a doubt, it's totally unique and new in the world and new in the universe. And it's not about doing anything special. You are special. You have an enormous amount of capabilities outside of the physical world, and you have an enormous amount of capabilities that you can reflect back into the physical world. So it's a little bit like gathering all these little light beams, all the sparkles, all the things that attract you, and putting them in an energy packet and bringing them into the world and let people look at them and say, you can't have them, but they're a gift that will enhance everything in your life. You don't have to own it. It just has to be in the world. You don't have to own the energy that you feel right now. It just has to be in the world. And the way we transmit to one another, just like teaching a child to ride a bicycle, you hold the seat and you say, pedal and steer, and off they go. And at some point, you let go of the seat. And if they don't see that you've let go of the seat, they keep riding. They wait until they open their door for their talent. And then they ride off, might be a little bit wobbly, but they ride off and turn around and come back and say, look what I'm doing. Because it's theirs. They don't even think about saying thanks because it's not yours to give. All you did was hold the transmission so that they could feel the movement, so they could feel everything that you felt, and so that they can then open up their intelligence or their filter and let that skill flow in. I often speak about musicians. The best way to become a concert pianist is to sit beside a master and then go and practice your head off. The transmission comes in a form that is so simple, you can't believe it. And it delivers the complexities of a concert pianist without touching, just being in the presence. So now you know that your gifts are presentable because you are you. Because you have mastered so much over such a long time that actually appears in a fraction of a second whenever you want it to. So the endless life of beauty and excitement that you've generated is now yours to present as a complete field in the physical world because of your presence. It's like getting the right mixture in the cake. When it's exactly right, the cake is beautiful. And the component you add makes it more beautiful again. Just the same in walking around, even when you don't have any people to interact with. You are still interacting and you are still making a difference. We've got so much to do, but we don't have to do anything. There's no obligation, but we're going to do it. We're going to make sure that our being does exactly what it was designed to do. And that's enhance the life of everyone and everything, to enhance the way the world works, to enhance its ability to be calm, to build, if need be, the structures that we know work, and to develop the industry of magic and miracles to where it's not only practical, it's the only thing that works. You don't work with problems anymore. You look at them for a fraction of a second and look past to where it all works, where you probably don't even have to solve anything. And the magic takes over. And it's not confidence, it's infinite trust. I've spoken about that many times. But in that infinite trust, you are able to go past everything. And you're able to see past everything, feel past it, drive your energy to wherever you need to drive. Allow it to grow and to build and inject into the world the gifts that only you know are available. And you don't need to make a list or do them sequentially or in any order at all. Like you never decide the instant you're going to smile. You just do it. You never decide when you're going to attract someone's attention. You just do it. You never decide when you're going to look at the house and say, boy, this is a really nice place. You just do it. It comes out of nowhere and it's random. And in that random action, you've actually achieved the building of a future that is totally beyond belief. You've actually achieved it in those tiny little interactions, in the tiny little inflection or a wink of the eye, anything, a bit of humor, a bit of excitement, a bit of stupidity. It allows for new openings and it builds new energies. And that's what we need. New energies, unfiltered, unsuppressed, without any description. So now we can just see, feel, enliven, and greet everything and everyone. And we don't have to determine whether something fits or it doesn't. It will either fit in your world or it won't. Or it'll transform because of your interface. And it will affect you the way you expect your world to be affected, through that magic. And if at some time there's a glitch, you'll find suddenly you pass through that glitch. And that little span of time where it wasn't going to work right, it's gone past you. So look forward, allow everything in. And above all, open all your channels, so that you are completely represented from every sparkle that surrounds you and that surrounds the world. There are millions, and you have total control over them all. Just touch one and they'll all turn on. And you don't have to ask me how to do that. You all know the perfection of magic and miracles. Play with it and let the sparkles begin. This is a perfect time. And all I can say is, it's been so great talking to you all. And once again, from the bottom of my heart, I wish you all a perfect life, perfect health, and a really magic future. Thank you.